This episode of Unqualified is brought to you by McDonald's, proudly serving communities since 1965. On the drive to and from my parents' house in Washington State, we almost always stop at two particular McDonald's, one in Salem, Oregon, and another in Eureka, California. At the moment, we are in the parking lot of the Salem location, and I just finished a Big Mac and fries. Even though we are just passing through, I appreciate the familiarity and feeling of community. The other day, I was looking through my mother-in-law's photo album and came across a photo where she and her friends are standing in front of a McDonald's wearing their cheerleading uniforms. I usually call my mother-in-law New Mom, but her name is Marcia. Under the photo, Marcia had written a note, and I talked her into letting me read it here. San Bernardino, California. I have so many memories of this McDonald's over the years. My father took me there on what I think was opening day. What a thrill it was as a young girl to order a chocolate shake, hamburger, and French fries. Then there was the time when my cousin Hinda and I were given a tour and allowed to take dill pickles by the cupful out of a huge barrel. We must have eaten 100 pickles each. Everyone in my family knows the story of how I accidentally missed the ketchup container and dipped a fry into my milkshake. Now when I dip fries in my shake, it's on purpose. I remember when I was 12 years old, my mother and my cousin Noel Novak, Larry's brother, picked me up from dance class and we went for dinner to celebrate Noel's graduation from high school. Years later, when I was in high school, we would go to McDonald's every Friday night after the football game. I wish you could see this photo. Marcia couldn't remember if they won the game that night, but everyone is smiling as if they did. Wherever your local McDonald's is, there's nothing better than that wonderful feeling of community. Well, maybe that feeling is tied with eating a Big Mac. McDonald's, I'm loving it. Okay, so no, I just want to tell our listeners that Sim just told me that I'm allowed to talk first.
Did I say it that way?
You said, okay, Anna, I think you should talk first.
Yeah, I didn't say you were allowed to talk first. I think you should talk first.
Of course I should fucking talk first. This podcast is called Unfair's Unqualified, you fucking dick.
I meant in this one instance. Oh, God. I can't believe you made Mike record just so you can say that to me.
I know. I do love to rib you, but yes.
Right. Anyways.
Is it too early to be like, fuck you, Sim? Is it too early in today's podcast?
I guess our listeners would argue that it's never too early to say fuck you, Sim.
I am feeling particularly spicy today.
Oh, can't wait.
But so, dear listeners, we are going to be doing a follow-up call with a woman named Katie, who we had talked to on the James Gunn episode, and regarding her birth mother. She's an adopted person. Well, adopted person? People don't say an adopted person. That sounds weird.
She was adopted. Yeah,
she was adopted. And she was recently got in contact with her birth mother, and we talked to her, and it was really moving. And we have an update, so we're going to give her a call.
And if anyone needs to listen to that call again, it's the second part of the James Gunn episode, and it's towards the end. And her name is Katie, and we're going to call her right now. And then after that, we will welcome our special guest, Phoebe Robinson from Two Dope Queens. But let's call Katie right now.
Do you think anyone's ever described me as dope?
Yes.
No. That's why you're a good friend. I tell you to fuck off, and you say that, yes, somebody in the world has described you as dope, Anna.
One or two.
Hello?
Katie!
Hi, Anna.
Hi, how are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
I'm really good. I'm so glad that we're able to follow up with you. I think.
Yeah, I've been wanting to talk to you guys and let you know how everything went.
Hey, Katie, what's up?
Hi, Sim.
So Katie, so your the James Gunn episode is going to air.
No, it's already aired.
It's already aired. Oh, sorry. This is where my producer Sim has to.
It's so good.
It has aired.
Sim, come on, we don't know what.
I just told the listeners that they can go back and listen to the second part of the episode. You didn't hear a word I just said.
Yes, I know, because I don't listen to you.
Apparently, yeah.
I listen to Katie. I don't listen to you.
I know. Well, let's talk to Katie.
But Katie, I do think that your call, I don't know, it was one of our most moving calls because it was, just so personal and interesting. And anyway. This episode of Unqualified is brought to you in part by ZocDoc. Who gets excited about trying a new restaurant that has 2 out of 5 stars? When it comes to finding healthcare, don't ratings matter even more? ZocDoc is a free app where you can compare doctors, read reviews from real patients, and even make same-day appointments. When I finally called to reschedule my dentist appointment, I was told that my dentist had been retired for nearly 3 years. In my defense, parking was a nightmare. Through ZocDoc, I found a new dentist who had great reviews, took my insurance, and whose office was actually within walking distance. I was also able to book an appointment instantly without talking to a receptionist who made me feel guilty about not having my teeth cleaned for 3 years. My new dentist didn't make me feel guilty either, and only suggested I floss a little more often. Whether you need a primary care physician, dentist, dermatologist, psychiatrist, eye doctor, or other specialist, ZocDoc makes healthcare easy. Now is the time to prioritize your health. Go to ZocDoc.com/unqualified and download the ZocDoc app. Sign up for free and book a top-rated doctor who might be available as soon as today. That's ZocDoc.com/unqualified. This episode of Unqualified is brought to you in part by Osea. Wondering what to gift your friends and family this holiday season? Female founded over 25 years ago by a mother and daughter team, Osea's award-winning cleansers, serums, face moisturizers, and body products give you the results you want. Skin that looks and feels amazing. I recently got to try Osea's new body butter, which, like their now famous Undaria algae body oil, transforms dry skin without being greasy, has the same incredible scent, and leaves your skin soft, smooth, and healthy looking. If my experience is any indication, you can count on your partner giving you a lot of compliments. This holiday season, stock up and share your new favorite clean skincare and body care with your friends and family. Unqualified listeners get 10% off your first order with promo code ANNA at OseaMalibu.com. You'll get free samples with every order, and orders over $50 get free shipping. Gifting is always easier if you start early, so head to OSEAMalibu.com. Use code ANNA. So, okay, give us an update.
Well, it was like talking to you, honestly, like I told Sim later, like it just felt like a huge weight was lifted off my shoulders. And people have been telling me similar things to what you and James had said, but I think coming from like a third party, it really helped me. And actually, not too long after we spoke, my birth mom kind of invited herself over to visit my family. And I was finally able to just tell her no and explain to her that this isn't something that I'm comfortable with or my family is necessarily comfortable with, and she was really okay about it, and she was like, thank you for being so honest with me. But if I hadn't have talked to you guys, I think I probably just would have been like, oh no, there's not enough room, or I would have come up with all these excuses rather than just tell her honestly what the situation was. And
I'm so glad that she took it well, because that was
I was worried about, after talking to you, about how she was going to deal with, because that's really the test, is like when you're honest with somebody, how they take it, how they digest it, and how they sort of move forward with it. And it sounds like she did well with it, right?
Yeah, I mean, we haven't been speaking as much since that, and I'm a little bit happier with that just because she was wanting to talk all the time, so we're kind of separating a little bit more. So I mean, I'm sure she was upset, but she was, I understood, you know, it's your family, I get it. So I'm sure she wasn't like 100% happy with the situation, but she was understanding and she respected my wishes. So
well, and that says a lot about what she wants out of the future, like a potential relationship with you, and how much she loves you, is that she's willing to kind of hopefully protect you from her hurt feelings, and hopefully, you know, kind of just move forward and yeah, I think that's good, because the opposite would have been like her causing a lot of drama, and then I was worried about that, but nothing like that happened. So that's really good. So now it seems like the thing will be with maybe your family kind of learning to accept, you know, this position of this person in your life, as long as you want that.
Yeah, well, speaking of that, I also wanted your opinion. I was telling Sim, shortly after we spoke, I found out that I'm pregnant.
You are?
Yay!
Oh my
Congratulations!
Yay!
That's incredible. How far along are you?
I'm almost at the end of my first trimester.
Oh my, are you feeling okay?
Yeah, well, honestly, I haven't actually not like vomited, but it's almost like I'm hungover all the time. Like my stomach hurts and I feel thirsty. I sleep like 11 hours a day.
I know. It's like you become a koala bear. Like you're incredibly sleepy. It does feel like you're kind of stoned, except without the good buzz.
It's like, weird. It's so weird.
There's something about that pregnancy brain, which I didn't really believe until I experienced it, which was like kind of a weird dullness to your brain.
Yeah, like a hazy, like, I don't know, I'm constantly exhausted and sleepy, and I'm trying not to drink caffeine, but on days I work, I just have to, because otherwise I'd fall asleep.
Yeah. No, and there's so many, I don't know, the societal pressure about like pregnant women is really overwhelming in this country. But that is such great news. I'm so happy for you.
Thank you, but I wanted to talk to you and see if maybe you had some more advice on how I approach Kim and talk to her about it, because I want her to be excited, and I know she will be, but I'm not sure what relationship I want her to have with this potential child. And I mean, I don't call her mom, so I don't feel comfortable with any of my children calling her grandmother, but I don't know how to like tell her about it, but like reel her in at the same time, you know?
I think, you know, Katie, because we listened to your call again and again, because it was unique, because we normally get a lot of like, you know, boyfriend girlfriend relationship calls or whatever. Yeah. And this was a different circumstance. So but I think that my big takeaway is, and I know that I talked a lot about this before, is that I just think you have to be really self-serving I
was just going to say selfish in love.
Yeah, the selfish in love, because this is it's going to, you know, the idea of like holes in your heart, right? Of whether it's heartbreak or missing your birth mother or wanting a relation, like the idea of sort of healing holes in your heart is a very personal journey that no one else can really influence you with. And I think that you have to really kind of go with your gut on all of this stuff. And I think you can tell her all of those things, because if you can't have a completely honest relationship, then it's kind of like, well, what's the point at this point, especially when there's so much at stake.
You're right. Yeah.
And so if you can tell her, like, listen, you know, I'm searching. I don't know if, you know, I don't know how comfortable I am if my child calls you grandma. Like, how do you feel? want you in my life, but I'm still very cautious. I just want to be as completely open as I can be because Katie, you have nothing to lose. You know what I mean? Like, you only have a ton of stuff to gain. And I think if you tell her that, it will continue to challenge her emotionally, but that's okay because that's what, that's what we need to.
That's the kind of situation that, that we're in.
Yeah. Yeah. And because it's about you right now and your future and your child. And in an ideal world, you know what I would love? I would love to talk to you in 4 years and you could tell me you know what? We had just this incredible 4th of July picnic and everyone was there and everyone was running around and we all had a great time, and Kim and my mom and dad and everybody got along and it was joyous. And I think the only way to get to that kind of place of love and acceptance is by your being very honest with everybody in your life, which is not an easy thing. I mean, I don't know how to do that. It's so easy for me to say that.
It's really easy to say.
Easier said than done.
Totally.
But you've already started it. You've already started this. You've already opened the lines of communication, and you are honest. So it's not going to be as difficult as it was the first time you spoke to her.
That's right. And you know what? And now that you're setting this precedent of the establishment of honesty and open dialogue, you'll only gain strength from it, and people in your life will, not only they'll only love you more, and they'll continue to trust you and trust your judgment. And I just want, I don't know. I'm like, am I a little hippy dippy with the whole? I don't know, forgiveness.
No, I mean, I feel the same way. Then we might be hippy dippy together, but.
And you also, and I like we talked about when you called, the idea of the possessiveness of your family, because they feel like that they're losing you somehow by you gaining this new relationship in your life. When it's only, it's not, that's not how it has to be. That's not how the game has to end, or whatever. That's a weird way to put it. But I'm so happy for you, and I think that you're going to continue to just be awesome, and I'm so excited that you're pregnant. And did it come as a surprise? Oh,
we just hung up. I think she cut out.
Oh, did she hung? She hung up on me because I was probably saying the same thing over and over and over again, like I usually do.
Wait, where did my phone go?
I kind of do, don't I? I was listening to some of the podcasts that we've recorded, and I really do say I feel like way too many times. I'm on The Bachelorette.
That's just you.
No, I do. I say
because you're focusing on what you're saying.
But I feel like
no, I don't think anyone else has noticed that.
Yes, I'm sure lots of people have, but maybe they're too nice to call me on it.
No, that's just you're just in your own head.
Don't you think people in The Bachelor and Bachelorette say that a lot?
I see. I haven't noticed.
I feel like you're just a really good person.
You're talking about me, or you're talking about in general?
No, I'm not talking about you.
Oh,
Fuck you, Sim. You're not a good person.
At least I can get her on. We should just say
Anna, Sim.
Hey,
Katie.
sorry about that. I don't know.
Okay.
I think it was my computer.
Okay.
Anyway, Anna was saying.
Anyway,
I have no idea what I was saying. I started going on a Rumpelstiltskin.
I was asking if I should tell her I'm pregnant first and then break the relationship news to her, or maybe plant the idea in her head about not being grandmother or whatever, and then maybe telling her later I'm pregnant. I'm not sure the best way to go about it.
I think
or if there really is a best way.
I think you tell her that you're pregnant. You're still sorting out all of these things, that you want her in your life, but you're just not quite sure how to take it. So what sort of intensity level you want right now. So I think just I think keep her informed, and then you can sort of talk about the title
You have
stuff
time.
later.
You have time. I mean, I think you can be
I have a couple
patient.
months.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. I mean, she's going to be thrilled. Everyone in your life is going to be super excited, and they want, that title, especially because she wants to have you as a daughter again, or something. Maybe that's overstepping I don't know, but
no, she has referred to me as her daughter to other people before.
Right,
so.
right. And I'm sure that was hard on your parents, but I think hold off potentially on the idea of the title until like all the information is fully digested, and because you're still getting to know this person, and so she still has to continue to prove to you that she is trustworthy, that she has your best interests at heart, and that your mom is going to be your child's grandma, and so but I don't think you have to necessarily give her that news yet. I think she's just going to be thrilled, and she might get carried away for a minute, but that's okay. Ride it out for a minute.
I'm worried she's going to be like, "Oh, I'm going to be a grandma."
Right.
Well, yeah. So she should let her. She should let Kim enjoy the moment for a while.
Exactly, and then you can say, "Listen, in terms of what my child's going to call you, I'd love to think of because my mom will be grandma, but I would love for you to have a special title. Like my mom, to my son Jack, she wanted to be, instead of grandma, she wanted to be Yaya, which is the Greek version of grandma, which we're not.
My mom decided she's going to be Bava because I told her while she was in Italy.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So maybe there can be like a compromise. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe your child doesn't have to call, Kim, but maybe there can be like something where something that you guys are both comfortable with, where she doesn't feel overly possessive of your child, or at least it keeps you.
No, that's a good idea, like a nickname or something.
Yeah, that you guys both agree on, and like I said though, like the idea that you're going to continue to test her, and she'll continue to either prove or disprove her commitment level to you, or you know what I'm saying? Like if she reacts with a lot of drama, a lot of neediness, then that's you can take a step back and then assess from there. But if she is like, you know what, I really respect that, I want to do whatever you want to do, whatever you're comfortable with, then she'll prove herself as the kind of person that you really want in your life. So it'll be kind of an ongoing.
And she has so far, so.
Yeah. But I'm so excited.
Katie, we are so happy for you.
I want to know. Well, okay.
Thank you.
First of all, are you going to find out like the gender? Wait, I think that happens like 14
my
weeks?
husband and I have a bet.
What do you guys think? You don't have to tell
Whoever
us.
wins gets to name the kid.
No
Wow.
way.
I think it's a girl, and he thinks it's a boy. I hope it's not a boy, but we'll find out. We got some time yet.
I think the woman. I don't know. There's so many old wives' tales. I felt like I knew.
I know.
You knew it was a boy,
So
Anna?
annoying.
I felt like I knew.
What about
very
Chris?
Strongly. He wanted a girl.
Yeah.
At least that's what he said.
Okay.
But I really had this strong feeling that it was a boy. I don't know, and I have no basis for that.
Right.
But I've never been wrong before in my whole life.
No, you haven't. That's true. Katie, keep in touch with us.
Well, then can you tell me what I will, guys. I'll let you know what I'm having and how it goes with
Yes,
Kim
and
and everything.
We want to send you a baby shower gift if somebody's having a baby shower for you. I want to.
Oh,
Yeah, so
thank you.
Katie, send
That's so
me your
sweet.
address. Email me your address,
Okay.
and then Anna's gonna send you something.
Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you. Oh, and I have to tell you, my mom and I were obsessed with the house bunny. And like when we would meet new people, we'd be like, "Oh, hi, it's nice to meet you." Oh no! Like,
That's
we did
pretty
that for
good.
months.
That's
Everyone
pretty
thought
good.
we were insane.
I kind of lost a little bit. I don't quite have the gravel that I used to.
Has anyone ever done that to you? Like, I
Oh
always
yeah.
wondered.
Oh yeah. No. Yes. Especially if there's like every once in a while there's like a brief period where it gets like shown on, I don't know, Comedy Central or something, and then there's a little brief wave where people will come up to me and growl at me.
Oh God, that's too funny. All right,
Katie, we loved hearing from you.
And I appreciate the advice. You guys are great, and I hope more people call in with a wide variety of issues because you can help on all kinds of.
They always do.
But Katie, wait, listen. Will you do me one last favor? Will you please, like, I know I don't know your family, but will you please, like, give them my love and best wishes? And I'm just so happy for you guys. And I know that as soon as the dust settles, at least I want to believe that as soon as the dust settles of all this new influx of emotion and craziness, that things will be lovely and it's all going to end up like the third act of a movie. Right?
I think so.
Isn't that how life usually ends up?
Everything ends up roses. Everyone's happy at the end, of course.
You're rubbing noses. It's always like that.
Okay, well, please, if you feel like sharing with me, we won't have to publicize it. But if you feel like sharing with me when you find out the gender and everything, I'm super excited for you. But it is.
I can do that.
It's a super. Be prepared for the most boring time of your life.
That's another conversation. We'll get into that another time.
Another chat.
We need to get you some great TV shows. You probably already have them.
Okay, apparently Anna wants to talk for another half hour about the TV shows.
Okay, sorry. Well, no, listen. Fuck you, Sim. Okay, Katie, congratulations. And we love you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Katie.
I love you guys too, and I'll keep you posted.
Thanks.
Bye. Oh, she's sweet.
That was amazing. I love it that she's pregnant.
It's amazing. It all worked out. Look at that. Your advice. Good job.
Well, thanks. It also
And James.
helps when a penis enters a vagina.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the first part. All right, everyone, enjoy Phoebe Robinson from Two Dope Queens.
Yay. That's when I always do that stupid fucking dumb thing where I need to fill the silence.
Oh, are we still filling the silence?
I don't know, Sim. I can't.
At this point,
I
we went to the
always
theme
need to
song.
fill the silence in my head. I'm terrified of death. I
Me
guess
too. I think
just
about it
like-
all the time.
You do? You think about it all the
Yes,
time?
I do. I think it's why I'm a workaholic, because if I keep working, then I can't like settle into
I
it
feel
too
the same
much.
way.
What's your like? Do you want to talk about the worst way to die for you?
Oh gosh, the worst way to die.
By the way, Phoebe Robinson.
Oh hi, yeah. Before we launch into some heavy shit.
Hi, Phoebe.
Hi. I'm so annoying.
No. Nobody's more annoying than I am.
Okay. The worst way for me to die, I think, would be to drown in my own blood, like I bleed out within my body.
See, I think that
And like
wouldn't be
choke,
so...
and like gurgling on it.
Oh, gurgling.
Yeah.
See, I don't want the airplane terror of like.
Right.
I don't want that feeling. That seems
Like
to me.
like a plane crash,
Like a plummeting.
I
The
feel
plummeting.
like the thing is, I have noise cancellation headphones, and I always pass out on planes. So I think I wouldn't even know if I died,
Oh, that's good.
because I like fall asleep, like listening to the Hamilton soundtrack.
So the
I'm like,
oxygen
I'd be
masks
dead and
are
be fine.
coming down. Everyone's screaming.
I wouldn't notice.
You wouldn't
it.
know?
You wouldn't.
No, I'd be like Alexander.
You know what would
Hamilton. Like I just would have no idea. What's
I
going on.
admire you for that, but if you were my seat partner, I would want to be holding your hand.
Yeah.
And you would be like, all blissed out. And I'd be like, why? I'm dying next to the blissed out person. This could not get any worse.
But the thing is, like, whenever you're like on a plane, people like when they pass out snacks, like no one ever wakes me up. So I miss all the snacks, like all the cookies. They're not great, but like I want it.
I'll wake you up.
Oh, you would? But
I
we don't
totally
even,
would.
Honestly, you're like what? You're first class. I'm like straight up coach by the bathroom, and someone just boom boomed in it. You know, like it's not good.
I got to tell you, I have been known to. I have like a flight attendant fantasy.
Okay.
Like I'd like to be that person. So I have been known on several flights to pass out. I ask the flight attendants if I could pass out the snacks.
Oh, that's awesome. I like that.
How many times have you done that?
Yeah.
I've done it 3 times. And it's amazing because they're so focused on the snacks, they're not looking at me, so nobody like registers whatever, like anything. But for me, it's like this position of weird power. I don't know why.
I totally get that.
You do?
Yeah.
Yes, I totally get that.
This is Jamie Lee.
Oh yes,
by the way.
This is Jamie Lee.
She's a stand-up comedian, writer on the upcoming HBO show Crashing.
Hi, friends. I just wanted to second what you said because I
Thank you.
very much understand that. I think there's a lot with wearing a uniform, controlling
Yes.
when people listen to you and when they don't.
Totally.
Also, like having a thing to give that people need and are like waiting for, because it's not just a snack, it's like a piece of excitement
Yes.
on your very mundane,
But
however many hours long flight.
there's so many like Hudson News and like CNBC stores. Like, I don't need your water. I don't need
Oh, well,
your
see,
peanuts.
I need that water. I always
you gotta
underhydrate.
You gotta get a liter of Fiji before every flight. I get my Fiji.
So heavy.
I get my blanket.
And it is like $12.
It's $12.
$12 and
I complain.
It's like 7 bricks.
I complain about. I'm like, this is bullshit, but I also need water to live. So
Oh,
they
right.
get it. You know, they understand.
Well, I admire your hydration abilities,
you.
guys. Dear listeners, I have 2 incredibly funny and gorgeous women to the right of me.
Ooh.
So thank you guys so much for being here.
Thanks
Phoebe
for
and
having
Jamie.
us.
Thanks for having us, Anna.
You guys trekked up this hill.
It was lovely.
Into, like,
Yeah.
the creepy.
It was
like-
great.
It's a little bit creepy up here, though, isn't it? Or no?
No, we were. The only thing is, like, everyone was just making just like
Horrible
this was like
driving decisions.
yeah. It was like, this isn't Fast Furious 9.
This guy
like,
in a
is-
Lamborghini
you know,
straight up just like took up the whole road.
Yeah.
And we were like, that's not how you
Yeah.
drive.
I
Yeah.
hate him.
Yeah.
It was probably Tyrese.
It was
Fuck
funny because I
Tyrese.
honestly, when I saw the car, I thought it was like Iggy Azalea because it just had that
Right.
that vibe to it. And
She
then
can't afford that
he drives
anymore,
by
though.
and he's just like a schlubby dad. And I was
Yeah.
like, all right, well.
Do you guys know that I just learned today that Tyrese has a Benihana grill
That's right. He
set
does.
up in his house?
That's true. In the-
That's cool.
He has an actual Benihana that. Did you learn that from Aziz?
No, one of the bachelor party guys.
Yeah, no, because Aziz is friends with Tyrese, and he had posted on Instagram at the Benihana. Like he has an actual Benihana. He has someone that comes in with the hat and everything, does
Okay.
the flipping, and
But my question for the ladies,
yeah.
Yes.
you get invited to Tyrese's house, right, for a private party.
I'm packing the lube. What
Okay,
else?
so,
Yeah.
but does
On
the
it.
Benihana grill turn you on or turn you off? Because for me, I would feel like, man, I bet a lot of girls have been,
Yeah.
they've been like splayed
Sliced and
out
diced
on
and
that
love.
Benihana grill. Hopefully it's not turned on, but you
Right.
know,
Yeah.
like,
I wouldn't want it.
I will say,
I wouldn't want it.
If he did a trick,
Yeah.
I'd be like, I'm listening.
No, but it's like on the episode of
Like a
Sex and
shrimp-
City when Alexander Petrovsky like made the pancakes. Like Carrie knew he was making pancakes for tons of bitches.
yes,
You know what I
yes,
mean? Like
yeah.
Oh, come on.
what? I'm
Oh,
not saying I'm gonna like peace out of like
Hang on,
Tyrese's
guys.
house.
But
Okay.
if a guy
Keep
makes
talking, I'll be
pancakes,
right
all of
back.
a sudden you're going to assume that he makes it for all the girls.
for that character because he was a smooth operator.
This was Mikhail Baryshnikov? Is
yes.
That? Oh,
he was
yeah,
great.
yeah,
I
yeah.
thought she should have ended up with him.
Didn't they end up together?
No. They did like she was just like, oh, you love your work so much. And he's like, yeah, dude, I'm a workaholic. And she's like, I can't do this. And then she like broke up with him. And then like he like accidentally like hit her. They added
That
that,
was
in.
so
They
unnecessary.
added that in to make him a monster. But it was literally like he was walking
was an
away. She
accident.
grabbed him and he just turned around and like lightly grazed her
What
face.
was her reaction?
She was just like,
She held her face
Right.
like he was a monster.
Right. And it was like, he didn't know. He just turned around because she grabbed
Did he
him.
apologize right away?
Yeah. He was like, oh.
Instantly.
Yeah.
So it was an accident.
It was a
Right.
complete
What's her
accident.
deal? Why was she so? I don't understand. Was she was probably looking for something.
It was
right?
just like she was alone in France.
Right.
She was, sort of feeling abandoned
Right.
by this guy. And then on
Okay.
top of eating croissant every
Yeah.
day with no man on her arm, I think it just got to a point where it's like,
Yeah.
oh, and you accidentally slapped my cheek? Like, I can't deal.
Right. Yeah. But it was like such a low stakes slap. Like,
It was such a phoned in last minute rewrite.
yeah.
Yeah.
You could tell they like
Love the
really
show, love
want
the show.
Of course. I'm obsessed with the show. I went through a breakup last summer. and I watched the entire
We
series.
talked about this yesterday.
Yeah, to like get over
it's
my
the
breakup.
most cathartic series you'll ever watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you like the movies too?
The first one was like okay. The second one was an abomination.
So bad.
It felt very much, they were like, we're going to go to another country and be like, women have to dress like this. And it just felt very like privileged American to be like, this is a weird culture. And I'm like, but that's like,
It's crazy
remember
that
yeah.
movie got made.
I remember trying to. It was on HBO once, and remember trying to watch it. And there was the scene was that they were in first class on some like I don't know, like airline from the United Arab Emirates or
Yeah,
something,
sure.
and it was like it was just they were just talking about how amazing the first class is, and like all the. And I'm like, oh, this is what the whole movie is going to be.
I mean, can we not forget that they straight up rode camels?
yeah, I know.
They rode
died.
camels. I didn't get to that
I
part.
died.
Oh,
And
they
I'm pretty
rode
sure, I mean, I
camels,
only
yeah.
saw it one time and it was whatever, 5 years ago when it came out in the theaters. Was it that long ago or more than
I
that?
think it was more.
It feels like it was probably like 10 years ago. Anyways,
Yeah,
I
it was
just
a long
remember, I
while.
vaguely remember, like, I think it was like Miranda or whoever just like fell off a camel. And I was like, is that the big set piece?
Yeah.
Miranda falls off a camel? I'm sorry, but like,
Poor Miranda. She always gets it. She gets a
it was
shitty
probably
wardrobe.
Charlotte. It was probably
It was Charlotte. Charlotte, who,
Because
by
she's the one
way-
who got diarrhea in Mexico, was probably
Yes.
Charlotte.
And that was funny. I remember laughing at that. That was that the first movie or the second one?
First
That was the
movie.
first one. Oh, right. Yeah,
They weren't in Mexico. I found out they filmed it in Malibu, and that kind
Oh,
of
they
bummed me
did?
out. It kind of bummed me out. I wanted them to
course
like
they did.
actually go on location.
Me too. They can afford to go on location.
Yeah,
It's not
yeah.
like
I mean, not with their self.
they're not. It's not an indie. It's not slam dance. It's fucking, you know what I mean? It's Sex in the City. You can afford to shoot in Mexico. I can't even.
Wait. What? I want to get back to Sex
We
and
were
the
talking
City.
about Sex in the City.
Were you a Sex and the City fan?
Huge.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So this before we can't talk about anything else. I know this is your podcast, but I need to know what kind of person you are.
Okay.
Are you Team Aiden or Team Big? I'm Team Aiden.
I'm Team Aiden.
This is why we're best friends.
I'm Team Aiden.
Yeah.
Aiden was the guy from My Big Fat Greek Wedding.
Yes.
Oh, I like that guy.
Yes, John Corbett. What?
But didn't she break up with him because he got fat?
No, she was a
No,
dumb
Sam.
hoe, and she didn't. He was like, I love Carrie, but she was a dumb hoe, right? He like had his own business.
Oh, I mean, he was so
He, like,
successful.
made
he
her-
he woodworked.
Yeah, he
I mean,
made her
there's
a
something very
goddamn
primal
chair.
and sexy about that.
He wanted her to meet his parents.
Listen.
He like had a cute dog, and she was like, "Oh, you're gonna go away on business? I'm gonna go fuck my ex in our bed."
No. Can I
yeah.
throw out something else? What
Yeah.
if there was a fictional Mark or something? Mark is maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah,
But maybe because remember when they went to the cabin,
Yes.
and Carrie wasn't quite happy. Listen, I think I would have been happy in that hot cabin with this sexy guy.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think
That's when they got back together, right?
Yeah,
When
that
they
was
went to the
season
cabin.
4. That was
right.
season 4.
They made a
Yeah.
huge
But
deal.
she didn't like it.
No.
But also, she didn't try. Like, who goes to the cabin wearing a fucking tutu from the opening credits? Like, you don't.
She
do
did
that.
try to make an apple pie, but I was so confused why she needed milk. Because
Right.
if you're most pies
Don't need.
don't need
No.
milk.
No.
Do you remember that?
I do remember that. I also remember how Big was like dating. Big was dating an actress, like an MTV star.
Yes.
and she was like, he just needs to come up here to talk. And Aiden allowed it.
That
like,
was the
why
big
would you break
mistake.
up with that
That was
man?
the big
He's
mistake.
so understanding. He let the guy that you cheated with
Yeah.
come to the woods
Yeah.
to cry.
And like ate your fucking like pot roast.
But
Like
listen.
ate dinner.
Let's give Carrie not any credit, but at least relatability, because we've all liked the worst person.
Oh, for sure.
Right. Well, and it's
Like-
also very real that she didn't choose the right guy.
Right.
That
Right.
feels
Yeah.
very real.
That was actually accurate.
It was pretty profound.
Yeah.
Yeah. But for me, I'm just at a place, maybe I'm too old, but I feel like I'm at a place in my life where I want some kind of related. I need things clear.
Right.
I need like my villains on The Real Housewives.
Yes.
Yes.
And I need the people I root for, like, The Bachelorette. Like I need
See,
things-
I don't watch that. I can't get into that.
Oh, it's so dumb, but wonderful.
no. Really?
Yeah, you know
Okay.
what? Okay, this is going to be a goal of mine.
Okay.
It's think you don't
Okay.
watch it actually thinking that they're really falling in love. But the fascination is the lack of adjectives. And also like watching these people truly get kind of seduced by the process and kind of feeling like they are really convincing themselves that they are really falling in love. And it's like,
how much of that
and there's
is
a lot of helicopter
Well, how
shots.
much is that like?
You're like a lot of drone shots also.
But that, I feel like that is, like, the Kardashians is heavily scripted, and I feel like The Bachelor is also heavily scripted.
it has to be. Do you watch that show Unreal?
It's in my queue.
I know, I
It's
really
in my
wanna
It's
queue.
see it.
fantastic.
I
It's
heard
really
it's great.
great.
Is
but
it a drama?
It's a drama.
Okay.
It's but it's behind the scenes, and it shows how the producers kind of manipulate the storylines.
Right.
And-
That's awesome because I'm
and-
so fascinated in like how were you coerced specifically?
I love
They
The
have, like,
Bachelor and The
producers
Bachelorette,
that
but
are
the
Like
Unreal is
whispering
great.
in your
Yes.
ear, like fall in love. Yeah.
Right. And they take people
one
aside, and they
producer
have
is assigned to like 2 or 3 contestants, and they have to groom and coach them, and like maybe you should talk about like the loss of your mother, like
That's
Can I tell you?
Yeah.
The only reality show I was ever on, I was on season 7 of Last Comic
Oh,
Standing.
I was on that too. Fuck
And
that show.
how was it?
Fuck that show.
Well, so
With a giant kielbasa.
okay. Well, she had a
So was it
great.
good?
It was great.
I mean, I will say it was right before the semifinals, and I was like 2 years into stand up, so I was really like, I need this. Like, it was literally my whole life at that time because I was like part-time nannying. Like, I needed a break, you know? And so I remember it was right before the semifinals, and this producer came up to me, and I think I had a Red Bull, which was really stupid, but I always want to be up and awake. And I already had
Me
so
too.
much natural adrenaline that I should not have had a Red Bull on top of like my body's natural Red Bull state that it was already in. And so I drank the Red Bull and I'm like feeling all these feelings and feeling all like, oh my God, there's so much pressure, there's so much pressure. And then this producer gets in my face and she's like, you seem a little stressed.
No.
And I was like, yeah, I mean, I'm about to go on, and I just like kind of unloaded on her because I was feeling it was all right here in the front of my head and the front of my mouth, just like needing to spill out. And I started crying. And I will never forget the camera swooping in because they were just waiting for someone to break.
Oh
and
my
of course,
God.
they aired me crying. And it was
don't
so
remember
embarrassing.
that.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
And it was like, and then I got eliminated too. So it was like on top of it, it was like, cool, I made it to the semifinals, but then I get eliminated and they have footage of me hysterical. It just was like
What kind of
anti-comedy.
person
That's terrible.
says you seem a little stressed?
Oh, it was the
That's an
worst.
awful person.
Yeah.
That's the same kind of person that's like, oh, are you tired?
Yes. Or the same person who's like, you need to relax. You're like,
Yeah.
do I?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like,
You need to calm down, ma'am.
that's a manipulative,
Yeah,
mean
that's fucked up.
person.
And it's funny because it was a comedy show. So it's
Yeah.
this weird thing of like, oh, like shouldn't it just be about us like either killing or not killing up there? Like then there's this behind the scenes narrative in addition. So it's like, oh, she got eliminated and she's like a weak person.
I was auditioning
okay.
for a pilot back like when I first got to town, and I was like, I knew it was like down to like me and like 2 or 3 other girls, and I was terrified. I went in for the network, and I walked out of the audition room, and the casting director followed me, and she said, "Okay, so they like you, but you are way too nervous. So I want you to come back in, and don't be so nervous."
But you're like, I
I'm like,
wasn't nervous.
Oh, I was terrified.
And now you're making me way more nervous.
I knew that I was incredibly anxious, but I didn't know how to like stop my neck and head from shaking.
Oh my God.
But I didn't know how to. I mean, what? Like, who says like, don't be so nervous.
That's like
okay?
someone saying like, control yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like,
yeah.
sorry.
That's crazy.
In a weird way, it actually. I felt I was so proud.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm a proud person, but I felt like determined. Then I was like, all right. So then I'm going to be acting on top of acting on top of acting. I'm going to act like I'm not nervous.
Oh my God.
And then I'm going to act like I can play this call.
Oh my God.
Whatever, but yeah, no, but I don't know. The audition experience, like that
I
whole
hate
process,
auditioning.
Oh,
I hate it.
it's.
Does it get easier?
I don't know. I think you get more adjusted, like your skin just gets a little thicker.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had some really like rough feedback. One time I was told that I didn't have enough soul.
Oh my!
I mean, I've definitely been told
Kill
like,
yourself.
not
Like,
hot
how can you
enough,
say
like-
that to someone?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
like at least like with the physical stuff, it's like okay, I can kind of those are things I can't control, but not enough soul.
Absolutely.
How do I gain more soul?
Yeah.
What do I do? That felt like unknowable.
That's one
Yeah.
of those things, though. If someone told me that I needed more soul, I would be like, tell me what you mean by that and how I'm supposed to achieve that.
Right.
Because that's not a tangible thing.
Right.
That's like saying, like, hey, like, Anna, just like be God.
Right.
Just like be everything.
Yeah.
You're like, but I'm just me.
Yeah. That's crazy. That's crazy talk.
And it also felt patronizing because while I've been incredibly fortunate in a lot of ways, I've also, like all of us, gone through like the journeys of like heartbreak and rejection
And being an
like,
artist.
and like feeling like the most unattractive person through like all of the stuff that normal people go through that builds us as people. And so for that it felt like I felt really in a weird way I kind of brag about that rejection more than anything else because it feels like I know I have experienced pain like everyone else, and isn't that what creating soul is about? Is the idea that you can empathize with other people or identify with other people's struggles because you've lived through a degree of, I don't know, heartbreak and pain. Sorry, Sim, this is supposed to be a comedy podcast.
No, but it's true. I mean, I'm trying
it's
to
so
get
interesting.
I'm trying to get to like the place where you are in terms of just like so many things I go out for are like sassy black assistant, sassy black best friend, where it's like
You don't know
hey,
me.
girl. I'm not qualified to be an assistant, but I could tell you your shoes don't match. It's like just shit. It's like what black person would ever say that in a fucking job interview? What black person would ever say that?
So Regina Hall and I did like I kind of grew up in LA doing the Scary Movie series, and she was like my black best friend,
Right?
And we would talk a lot about this idea, and it really made it's like of course it was she's way more fucking funny than I am, and like it was she was so gracious that she never really like revealed too much of her hand, I think, to me about this stuff. But of course it's like, the idea of like the black best friend is so fucking cliche.
Yeah.
It's so annoying. It's very simple minded. And I think that the future of Hollywood will be in interesting casting. Really
so.
people like thinking outside of the box, and
I've like never auditioned to be like a love interest. Never. And I've been auditioning for like 4 years. Not once.
I have to.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's crazy. Not that I'm like the hottest person. I'm
No.
not saying that, but I'm also like, I'm a person who has sex, and like people date me. Like, why is it like not in the realm of like
possibility.
right in Hollywood?
Yeah.
You know what I
It's
mean?
so crazy.
Yeah.
I do think that we have. I feel optimistic. I think because we've got people like, Melissa McCarthy and Amy Schumer, and like people who are like old Hollywood doesn't want to necessarily believe in, that are now like creating a different narrative.
Yeah.
For women, I hope.
That's how I feel
But-
about Lena Dunham. I think that like I don't know, I was having a conversation and someone in the conversation was like, like they were saying something about her weight, and I thought it was really interesting because I was like, I don't want her to change, and I don't want her to cover up. I think everything she does is so important for women.
Yes.
Like I really think she's
Yes.
important, whether you are a fan or not.
I mean,
it's not
yes.
the point. It's like important.
Huge fan, and you are completely right.
I'm a huge fan, but I'm saying like, yeah. I think it's like, it's really like awesome to see someone who's challenging the ideals.
And it is frustrating though that it continues to be a surprise to people. Like,
Yes.
what? Like, oh, this person could be successful. This
Yeah.
doesn't. This does not compute.
Yeah.
And the way people are just like outraged by like they like just saying like the nastiest thing. She talks about it in her book, how people like say the nastiest stuff to her online and stuff. I think it's her book or something. Maybe I read something on Lenny Letter, but it was
Yeah. What?
it's like
Sim, as a man, who are these miserable trolling people?
Yeah.
Come on, Sim,
Yeah.
speak for them.
Break it down for us.
Because I find it confounding. Who are these people that are like? Are they really like city? Are they the basement people? Who are these people that need to spread a lot of hate around the? They're just not getting laid, right?
I think so. I think that
It has
the
to be
people
that
that are
simple.
just
A lot of
slowly hiding
sadness.
behind. It has to be something like that. I mean, that's the only explanation I can give for that. I mean,
it has to be like a combo of like sadness, loneliness, and
Anger.
insecurity.
Yeah, it's like my life is not where I want it to be. I'm going to then attack others so they feel as bad as I do.
But then there's this thing of like, and then there's the term haters. So they know that there's a label for what they're doing, but then they still do it. And it's like, do you just want to fall under that category? Like, is there anyone who's like a self-aware hater?
Yeah, I know.
Who's just like, yeah, like
Proud
like
Yeah, I guess his name is
letter
Donald Trump.
H. Yeah.
Donald Trump is a proud hater.
He is a proud
He
hater.
like loves it. He's like a WWE like villain. Like he's a
He
total
really is.
heel.
I'm shocked he doesn't have a snake around his neck
I
at all
know.
times.
And like comes out to fucking smoke and like
Rips off his
like
shirt.
White Snake blaring.
Yeah.
Just like he's a
Vinyl
monster.
boots.
He's a
Greasy
goddamn
hair.
monster. He's disgusting.
he's the worst.
He's literal garbage.
But but the thing is
can't.
that
But he's so hot. No, I'm just kidding. Like,
oh my god, he's my big.
sit on my face, Trump. Sit on it.
yeah, I want those curled up lips wrapped around my
Give it.
cheek.
I just love rosacea.
I guarantee you, he does not go down on his wife. I guarantee.
you think he ever has?
I don't think he does. I think he thinks he's above it. Mm-hmm. I think he does.
Oh, like she goes up on him.
Yeah.
He's like, bring your hips this way. I don't bend for you.
No, I think he's like, yeah, I don't think he reciprocates. I think Melania gives him like the saddest blowjob. She's like,
Maybe she outsources too.
Oh my God.
that would be amazing.
I would.
Yeah.
Be like,
no
"Here, honey,
way.
here's your Ambien.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Yeah.
And then
Oh my god.
you just get some. Okay, go on in there.
Can I tell you?
Put a brown wig on.
I'm obsessed with Ivanka Trump's Instagram. She is
Is
like.
What is she doing on her Instagram?
Is that's his daughter,
She
right?
does, yes.
Great.
Well, so I remember when I was growing up, I was obsessed with, I remember she was on the cover of 17, or she did a spread for 17, and I just remember thinking she was like the most beautiful person alive. So I started following her, just thinking like, oh, so she's so beautiful. But then she also like, I can't even explain it. It's like extreme whiteness to a point where like everything she's doing is just so removed from the rest of the world, but she tries to make it relatable. So she'll be like on a golf course, like she'll do a quick video where she's like, I'm hosting the PGA, da da da, and then she'll like make a comment like, and if you're out there golfing this weekend, it's like no one's golfing this weekend. You know what I mean?
I think her and Oprah are like two sides of the same coin. Because
Probably.
Oprah's Instagram is great. Like she has this massive
follow
garden,
her. I gotta follow.
and she like had this like giant basket. She was like, "Look at all my gourds." It's like Oprah, the fuck. No one else
that.
has gourds.
But it's so
No
funny
one has
because I
gourds.
feel like Martha Stewart used to take those types of photos and she'd have like her gardening gloves on to be like, see, I dig things out of the ground. I don't have a digger. And it's like, no, but you probably do have a digger also.
Yeah.
You have a digger on staff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that loss of perspective is, and maybe I don't know. I hope someone tell it. Like, I don't know if I ever I don't know. Like,
I think you can lose perspective if you're like still a good person. Like Oprah is very philanthropic, so it's okay that she's like does a commercial where she talks about bread like it's a revelation for anyone to like grains. Like she's very much like, I don't think you guys get it. There's a thing called bread, and I fucking love it. And you're like, yeah, no, we all do. Like we all love bread.
She has such a strange relationship with bread.
I know, but she's so great.
I mean, I very much identify with her relationship with bread.
Yeah.
Because it's clearly like her Achilles heel. And that's why she's
just so
and I
worried.
get it. I get it. I feel the same way.
Yeah.
She's one of those people, a celebrity that I saw her once, and
Where?
at the Oscars, because Chris was he was what was it? Oh, it was one of it. I don't know.
Was he presenting for like best makeup?
Totally.
Yeah.
And Oprah was like kind of like a few, like, well, I don't know, maybe 30 feet away from me, and we had like a sort of a brush past, and I just wanted her to like me so badly. I just was overcome with like a tidal wave of like, please, oh God, please, Oprah, like me.
I know
Oprah,
she did.
Oprah.
I know she did.
No, I don't think she did.
Did you
What?
wait?
Okay,
hold on, what happened? Did you say hi to her?
Yeah.
I said, hello.
What did she say?
She's like, hello. Like, I'm like, no, I don't think, I mean, I just was like,
Was she moving somewhere else, or did she actually engage you?
No. She was sitting there, and she was annoyed probably that I was trying to walk over her to go to the bathroom or
Okay.
something. But which would be annoying. But I did feel like, okay, Oprah doesn't like me. All right,
That's
but,
not
but
true.
I'm gonna move on.
I'm sure Oprah loves you.
Yeah, I don't
Oprah
imagine.
I'm not on Oprah's radar.
Oh yes,
I'm
you
sure
are.
you
I
are.
think
Do
you
you
are.
guys think that Oprah has?
I bet.
Seen
Yeah. No,
House
not maybe,
Bunny?
House Bunny. maybe not Scary Movie, but I'm sure she's seen House Bunny.
more important work. Let's go back to the hot chick. Yeah, she totally thought up to.
I'm just saying. I didn't know you knew who I was. You're Oprah in my world.
Yeah, you're our Oprah.
You're our
Oh my
Oprah.
God. When you guys started your podcast, I immediately called Sim.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, what do we do? We gotta like figure this
No,
out.
I was
Tito
telling
Queens,
telling
listen to
Phoebe earlier how angry I was about your podcast. I'm like, who are these women? And they're ahead of us right now in the rankings. What the fuck are these people?
Wait, we were ahead of you?
Oh, you're always ahead
You're
of
always
us.
ahead of us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy town.
I know.
I'm mayor
So,
of Crazy Town right now.
I didn't listen to you for a while, and then I finally listened to you guys. I'm like, oh my
That's
god.
why we're
they're-
gonna drug you tonight. And I don't know. Who knows what's gonna happen from there?
You're gonna
you
win
might
your-
never leave here.
But after I listened to your
Yeah.
podcast, I just thought Jessica and you are just absolutely brilliant.
Oh, thank
Two Dope
you.
Queens is one of my favorite podcasts, and I'm probably one of your few male listeners.
We
too.
actually get a
Do you-
decent
are you getting a good amount?
of male
Because they
listeners.
should be listening to your podcast.
We
It's
have
amazing.
a lot of gay men, obviously. Shout out to my gays. I hate when people say they're like, shout out to my gays. It's like I hate straight women in their relationship with gay people because it's always like, gay
It's,
gay
like,
best
kitschy.
friend. He's like my accessory. It's like, fuck you. He's a person.
Right, you're his.
But
you're
is
his
he?
accessory.
No, so we have like such a great, just like fan base, I think, of like very diverse backgrounds and like, yeah, everyone's just been wonderful.
You know what's amazing though about what, and not to like generalize too much about heterosexual men, because we've had some amazing like dudes on here, but there is a bit of like an unwillingness for a heterosexual man to laugh at a funny woman.
Oh my God, yes. That's like what it's like for Jamie
We
and
were
I to
just
do
talking
stand
about
up.
that.
It's really hard.
It's hard for them.
Really? I don't find that problem at all.
Men think it's
You
threatening.
I know you're entertained by me, but you don't laugh in general that much.
Yes, I do. Oh, stop! Anyone that's
Okay, try
listening to
to
the
laugh right now.
podcast, no, I'm not
No,
going to try and laugh.
do a fake
but
laugh.
anyone that's listening, that's my fake laugh. But anyone that's listening to this podcast knows that I'm laughing throughout. I'm usually laughing.
No, it's true. I mean, you are my partner. You were like the person who's like, we could do this. So I know that you're the exception.
Well, you're
to the rule.
also extremely hilarious. You're hysterical.
Thanks,
It's very
Sam.
true.
You're one of the few people. I'm not
But-
talking about you make me laugh so hard all the time.
Thanks.
I also think
Yeah.
that you're responsible for men starting to realize that, or straight men, I think that's what we're talking about, that they are, like, that women are, in fact, capable of, like,
Being funny.
taking charge,
Right. Yeah.
being center stage, and being a funny force.
My theory is that a lot of men are maybe so focused on what their next calculated move is when they're talking to somebody that they're attracted to, so they're not listening to anything that a potentially funny woman is saying, because they're just like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? What am I going to do? Mm-hmm. Like, I'm going to stroke her leg right now. Or like, like whatever.
But it's also like society has
know what I'm
very.
saying?
You're looking at me. I have no idea what you're saying.
I'm gonna stroke her leg.
Like I'm not like I'm just like tuning out to everything she says.
Yeah, but I also think it's like societal conditioning in that like men are the funny ones. And
We're the gigglers.
Yeah, women laugh and get penetrated. Like that's like what we do. You know what I mean?
We're there to like
We really won.
We're
didn't
like
we?
emotional. We're like emotional fluffers. We just like want to make them feel great.
Exactly, and
But
it's like we're funny.
Do you notice like when you do stand up, I feel this way. Like sometimes if there's like an all male, actually happened last night. There were a bunch of guys at the Improv, and then I went up and I felt this shift of energy in the room where I had to be like, it's okay.
Yeah.
Like I know that I'm the first girl you've seen up here tonight. And sometimes I'll address it. I'm like, I can feel the shift in the room. I'm a girl. I'm about to make some jokes. It's okay.
Yeah.
I know that's like, a bit of a change up, but and I feel like they laugh at that. They laugh at me just saying like, I'm a girl. I'm the first girl you've seen tonight.
That's
up here.
what a relief. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Because at least you're like, okay, listen, you might not be used to this.
Yeah.
I love that's brilliant.
Yeah,
Thank you.
It is very. Have you ever done stand up?
No.
Yeah, it is. I don't know. It's very like. It's weird. It's a weird thing to do.
But
like when you
people
think
get
about
addicted to it, right?
I love
Like,
it.
It's literally like, it's the thing I will always come back to.
Yes.
Which is how I know. It's like I can stray from it. I can be like, oh, I'm like, whatever, like writing a pilot right now or like, trying to act or whatever it is. And then I'm like, oh, but I'll never not do stand up.
Yeah, I'll never.
It's
not
like,
have
it's like
stuff to
comfort.
joke about.
Yeah. And it's
go
also,
on stage.
yeah, it's so cathartic.
It's so great.
But what about when that disastrous night happens, where people aren't
fine.
responding?
It's fine.
You still get the courage to
It
go back
sucks,
up and like.
for sure. Like I was trying to put myself on tape for something, so I had to record like a half-hour set.
Putting yourself on tape is the worst.
It's the worst. You're almost guaranteed to not do well.
Yes.
And so I had to record like a 30-minute set, and I just ate a massive dick for 30 minutes. And like I knew like a minute in, I was like, yeah, this is I'm gonna
not-
eat it. I'm gonna just eat it. And then you do, and you're like, all right, whatever. Like it sucked in the moment, but it's like I'm gonna do like thousands of more shows. I'm not gonna let this define me. I'm gonna lick my wounds, and I'm gonna go back and do a show tomorrow.
I always wake up sad the next morning, almost like as if I had like had something, like had a lot to drink the night before. That kind of hungover sadness that you'll pass eventually, but like that's how I wake up after a bad set. I feel like, and then it diminishes throughout the day, and I'm okay again by night. But it's always like
I
a
need you
sad
to
shower
wake up
that
with
morning.
me more frequently in the mornings.
Or log in
Log in.
or whatever. Your
Can
password.
I do some promo stuff while she's logging in?
Fuck yeah.
Okay,
Just log- go for
So
it. Do
Teed Up,
Do it.
Phoebe Robinson, Teed Up Queens, and WNYC Studios. Great podcast. Download, subscribe. And I also have a book coming out October 4th called "You Can't Touch My Hair."
Yes.
Have you seen pictures of the cover?
I read a little bit about it. And
Oh, you
yeah,
did?
Yeah. We were going to ask you about it.
Oh, yes.
Tell
Okay,
us. So
no,
tell
we
us.
can wait.
No, we'll do it right now.
Okay,
We're going to start
great.
talking about it. Tell us
I'm so
about the
glad I
book.
brought it up. It's an essay collection. It's my first book ever, which is very exciting and kind of crazy and weird. And it's about like race, gender, pop culture, and some personal stories from my life. My obsession with Michael Fassbender. He's going to be my husband.
I want to talk to, like, I like the idea. I love the idea. I'm fascinated with the idea of identity and like the idea that people wanted to touch your hair.
Yeah,
And-
it happens a lot. It just happens to black women a lot.
Is that a thing you think? Mm-hmm. Because people always want to touch my pussy. But I don't know if that's just a white girl thing. This episode of Unqualified is brought to you in part by State Farm. And in honor of their surprisingly great auto insurance rates, I'm going to tell you about a particularly surprising day on set. It takes me a long time to read a script. For almost every line of dialogue, I will stop to figure out why my character would say it, how it fits in the conversation, and how it's going to come out of my mouth. Between the lines, there are larger chunks of text which describe everything else happening in the scene.
Maybe what a room looks like, what characters are wearing, and what they're doing. As I often underestimate how long everything in my life takes, I know I can make up some time by reading those larger chunks a little faster. I got the script for Overboard about 6 months before we started production. I read it in my warm living room, wearing comfortably warm clothes, sipping from a warm mug of tea. Somehow, it never occurred to me that when you jump off a boat in the middle of the ocean, the water is surprisingly cold. And it doesn't get any warmer on take 2. Here at Unqualified, we love State Farm because they provide coverage that meets your needs at a surprisingly great rate. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Call or go to statefarm.com for a quote today. This episode of Unqualified is brought to you in part by Warby Parker. Warby Parker was founded with a rebellious spirit and the lofty goal of creating boutique-quality eyewear at a revolutionary price point. Sunglasses, with or without a prescription, start at $95 and, just like eyeglasses, are available through their home try-on program. You just choose 5 pairs and see which ones you like. I was surprised by how quickly they arrived, which presented me with the immediate problem of deciding which ones to keep. I loved all of them, so you can guess what happened. And not only can you feel good about how cool you look, you can also feel good knowing that for every pair of glasses sold, Warby Parker distributes a pair of glasses to someone in need through partnerships with nonprofits like Vision Spring. Offering eyeglasses, sunglasses, contact lenses, and eye exams, Warby Parker is committed to providing exceptional vision care online and in stores. So put your FSA or HSA dollars to good use on Warby Parker prescription glasses, prescription sunglasses, contact lenses, and eye exams. Try Warby Parker's free home try-on program. Order 5 pairs of glasses to try at home for free for 5 days. There's no obligation to buy. Ships free and includes a prepaid return shipping label. Try 5 pairs of glasses at home for free at warbyparker.com/unqualified. That's warbyparker.com/unqualified.
We do have a couple of people waiting for us, though. So
Oh, yeah, let's call them. Yeah,
we should talk to them.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's hit him up.
Okay.
I'm so excited.
All right.
I love it when Sim gets nervous.
Nervous?
Has anyone not picked up and has gone to voicemail?
Yeah.
Yes, all the time.
Yeah.
It happens all the
God.
time.
Yes, yeah.
And then Anna leaves messages with the guests. It's great.
That's awesome.
And
Who is this?
this is Morgan. Morgan's 22 and she's in Connecticut.
Okay, so
Hello?
Hey, Morgan, it's Sim.
hi Morgan, it's Anna.
Hi.
And guess what?
Hi.
Phoebe Robinson from Two Dope Queens is here as well, and so is Jamie Lee. She's an amazing stand-up comedian.
Hi.
Hi.
Oh, hi. Hello.
How's it going, Morg?
Oh, it's good. I just finished my Game of Thrones episode, so it's all good.
Oh, I don't watch that show, but I heard it's great. I hear it's great. I heard it's great.
You have to.
Yep.
I have
But
to
I need to prep you on it. I'll tell you about that later.
Okay, cool. Great.
So, Morgan, you and your family are worried that your brother is about to marry the wrong person.
Oh, no.
All right, so we're going to get into it a little bit. Tell us a little bit more, and we're going to try and help.
So my brother's been dating the same girl for about 5 years now, and at the beginning of the relationship, the girl initially liked one of his friends, started dating him, but when she found out my brother had a car, job, money, vacations, homes, and things like that, she began being interested in him instead. Mm-hmm. So our family was a little put off by that, seeing him go from one friend to the next. And then once they started dating, she ended up cheating on him, and then he stayed with her, but he then started choosing her all over instead of our family, over his friends, spending all of his money on her, and we just thought she was some kind of gold digger using him for what he had, so all for the wrong reasons. So that led to fights with my mom, and he ended up moving out of our house and in with her parents' house. And
he got on to bad terms with us, so we didn't end up really talking to him for about a year or so. He didn't really stay in touch much, and that was that. But over the past few months, we've actually reconnected a little bit. They now live together in their own apartment, and we're able to actually, like, be friendly. And he pays for their entire apartment rent bill, going out to dinner, vacations, presents for her laptop that she ended up getting stolen. But he has a great job where he can afford to pay for these things. He works for our family business for my uncle, and he makes a good amount of money for such a young person. And he's actually going to inherit the company when he gets older, which she all knows about because he tells her everything. And so recently we've learned that in order to see my brother, that we have to get along with her because we don't want to go back to how it was when we didn't get along with her, we didn't see him.
Sorry.
About a month ago at dinner with them, we were just sitting around and they were just talking with us. It was all fine. And the girlfriend brought up how she doesn't believe in marriage and she would have kids without getting married, which fine if that, but I don't think you should really plan on doing such a thing. But she also said that she wouldn't sign a prenup and that she wouldn't be opposed to divorcing the future if it didn't work out. So if she wouldn't be opposed to just divorcing him and not having a prenup set up. But my question is, how do I talk to my brother without pushing him away, because he knows with our rocky past with his girlfriend that we don't think the best of her, and because we just got on good terms with him, we don't want to then push him away.
I have some follow-up questions. Is this his first, like, serious girlfriend?
Yes, it is, actually.
Now it makes sense. Okay.
He's only, what, 24? Yeah. How old is he?
He's around 24. She's younger than I am. She's about 20, 21.
What is she? I mean, it sounds like she's not really doing anything right now. But is she in school?
Well, she goes to online college and she works full time.
Oh.
But she claims that she pays for like the electricity bill, expenses, and things like that. I wouldn't know. I don't have their finances.
Do you think, like, is it a personality thing too? Like, is it like when she's hanging out with your family, she doesn't jive, or is it like
she's a monster?
Well, Well, when they first started dating, she was very shy, and that didn't help. We kind of wanted someone, like, we just heard these bad things about her. She cheated on him. You know, she's using Blake, so she didn't really have much of a personality. So it was hard to really get along with her. And that's what kind of it all stems from.
He's hypnotized by the vagina. That's honestly, that sounds crass, but that's what it is. This is his first serious girlfriend. He's probably had sex with like maybe one or two other people in his life. He thinks like, oh, this is like what love is. Like, I provide everything for the other person, and like they can treat me however. Like this is, you know.
Yeah.
But Phoebe, I totally agree with you. But I also think that there's a really sticky situation here, because what also is happening is she may be being like feeling threatened by his family.
Yes, I actually felt that too.
So you have to be like, I think that you have to be really, really, really careful. And because I was in a relationship, we've all, like most of us have been in a relationship where we don't want to hear it from our friends, that we don't want to hear the bad messenger. We don't want to hear that, like, oh yeah, you're dating an asshole.
And also, as the man in the relationship, there is an obligation to protect his girl.
Right. Yeah, totally.
Or not even
That's
man in the relationship. I don't want to make it, but it is. There's an obligation for him to have a, especially if they are married or they're about to get married.
No, but they're very mature for their age, so
they're headed that way.
They're actually about to get married.
They're about to get married. Yeah, I mean that's such a tricky thing, because his you know, if when you get married, it's like you're starting your own family, and so he probably feels caught between a rock and a hard place.
Is there a letter Could she write a letter where
Here's the thing: as a guy, he's not going to.
He's not going to listen.
He's not going to want to hear any of it.
Unfortunately, I think you have to let him make this mistake.
He will not listen to anyone. I can promise you that.
At the very least, if she wrote a letter saying like, "I love you so much," I only want your happiness in the whole wide world. And I always want to be very close to you. Like it doesn't even have to be anything critical.
About her.
Yeah.
Almost just like, I'm here for you.
Yeah. Just simply something that's like, that could just be, so she doesn't have to be a bad guy in any way, but like a rock that he could count on.
It's a nice gesture. I don't think it's going to work.
I don't think it's going to change.
It might not work. No, it won't. But at least in
good.
reflection, he could look at that letter later on after the divorce, the messy divorce happens, that he could be like, oh my God, my sister had my back.
Yeah.
I do like the letter.
Also, I will say, I was joking about cheating as an option earlier. It was clearly a joke. But I will say that the cheating is not that alarming to me considering how young they are. I think that, I mean, I had a very serious boyfriend in college and I kissed another guy and I never even told him about it. Now he's probably listening, but
I want to hear about it. Was it tongue? Full tongue?
There was some tongue.
That's
hot. Yeah, I do think that when you're younger, I think she clearly like wants to settle down now, but to me, there is an element of growing pains when you cheat on someone when you're in your early 20s.
Right.
I just don't. I'm not saying it's like it's not a good sign. I'm not like advocating for that behavior because who knows, it could be a pattern that we see later on down the line.
Right.
But it's not hitting me in a way where I'm like fearful for
if
him.
she was like 45, that's
absolutely
different.
Yeah.
Like
Absolutely.
23.
Or they had a kid together already. Something it'd be different. But.
Yeah. But I like the letter, but I think you kind of have to be like, all right, he's a grown-ass adult. He's going to make his own decisions. Mm-hmm. This is going to suck, but I will be there for him when the relationship falls apart. Right. And that's what he's going to cherish.
I will say the fact that she's, having a discrepancy in income, that's a normal thing. I think it is. I'm not, everyone has their own dynamic where maybe one person makes more money or maybe you guys are more equal players or whatever. But I do think that, the fact that she does have a full-time job and she it sounds like she's not just like sitting there. So I don't know.
But I think she might be waiting until she gets that wedding ring.
She's
and then
trying
after
to trap him.
Then after that, then I think I don't know. I mean, what do you think, Morgan? Do you think that she'll just continue to work after she gets married?
No, she's going to try to get pregnant immediately.
Well, that's the thing. She always says she wants kids very young. Yeah. So that's a red flag too. But
if that's
online college, and it's kind of the cheapest, quickest way to get a degree, which you kind of think, what are you trying to get this degree for? But I don't know if she just doesn't want to put the effort for it because she knows she's not going to need a job, type of thing.
But if that's like their agreement, I don't know what you can.
Yeah. And I will say like. So my brother he's been through a few different relationships, and I was always really protective and skeptical of his girlfriends and wives, and with some degree of good reason, but also they were actually really wonderful people, but I wanted to view them as kind of awful people because I love my brother. And I wanted to be like kind of a more important woman in his life. Not to say that you're like that at all, but that was I now realize that a little bit more.
There's like a protective element.
Yeah. And
I totally agree with that. Yeah.
That's really healthy of you to admit that. I could never have admitted that. But I don't know.
We're a close family unit, and I guess when we saw him with her, he kind of changed his personality. So we didn't think the best of her because here he is completely changing who he is.
Yeah.
So that was always an issue too. But now with this prenup situation, we don't want him making a decision he's going to regret, especially if she's already told him all of her opinions. So I don't know why he would be okay with her opinions about it.
Sadly, this is kind of out of your control.
Yeah.
What does your uncle think? His boss, your uncle.
I'm not sure. I haven't talked to him. My uncle is my brother.
Is there a relationship? Is it just a business relationship, or does he talk to him about his personal life as well? Do you think your uncle?
They've been very close because my dad died when we were young, and my uncle kind of stepped up and was kind of that male figure for my brother ever since a young age. And my uncle gave him a job when he turned 16, right then and there. And they have much more of a personal relationship. And I think my brother has his ear because my uncle would be the one to say, you need to get a prenup through here because he's done the same thing with his wife.
Would that be something you'd be wanting? Could you talk to your uncle about that and just say, look, I don't know if you know the ins and outs of their relationship personally, but he's heading down a wrong path here, and he needs help, and I know that he trusts you.
Sorry.
What are you thinking, Anna?
I think that's a really good idea, but I also think that the strongest move as a woman is to try to endear herself to the fiancé.
What will that do?
Too.
I'm confused by that. What will that do?
Then, if she has the trust of her brother's fiancé, and then she can actually try to figure out, like, she'll be able to figure out, like, what the motivations are, if they are really true or if they are really false.
I think she thinks they're. I think it's evident that they're true. Like, she's not with him for the right reasons.
But I do like befriending the fiance because I think she very much sees it as like it's me and Bay against his family,
which is so hard.
Which is hard because he is now in the middle and he's going to take his fiance's side. So I do like you extending the olive branch and being like, all right, it's not either or.
It's a more powerful position.
Right. And like we are, if you guys do get married, we're going to be family.
Yeah,
so
you have to unite.
We have to figure this shit out.
Right.
So I do like the going on the offensive and not like being fake, but
like
just being
best
like.
defense is an awesome offense.
Yeah. And just be like, all right, we can't keep operating like
There's
this.
also, I will say, like, I just got married and it is interesting, like, over the course of our, like, wedding planning journey, families do feel this need to, as opposed to like unite forces, like we were just saying, they go into this war mode where it's like, why is that the default option that we're just all not going to get along? And I think there's almost like it's almost like a hazing period where families can't just merge seamlessly and effortlessly. It's like we have to hate each other on some level, and then if we can get past that, we're going to be in the clear.
Especially with like the golden child. Like,
oh my God,
husband,
yes.
I mean, my mother-in-law is the sweetest woman in the whole wide world, and she has been so amazing to me. But I also know that, like, and my mom too with my brother, like, there is that motherly thing of like, oh, I have raised the golden child, and in you,
that is
woman,
exactly my husband and mom's dynamic.
You want to come and be a part of this? I do not think so.
Right, right. So, yeah,
like,
my mother-in-law's the most amazing, and I felt the exact same. Yeah, you can. It's palpable.
It's like I had to do. Oh, I mean, like a lot of like. I mean, my mother-in-law is unbelievable. But I did feel like this is my duty. She didn't require it from me, but my duty is to, like, okay, I have to make sure that she feels safe with me, that I protect her, son, that I understand that her son is the most glorious thing that has ever walked the earth.
Yeah, yeah. Totally.
And you know what? And now as a mother to a son, oh my God, there's some unlucky girl maybe out there that I'm going to be like, okay, yeah, right, you prove it to me. You're going to prove it to me. But I don't know. It's kind of human nature, but I don't know. So I guess my takeaway advice, and please, you guys, let me know if you think this is right or not, would be
if you can find it in yourself to reach out to her, then I think you will end up with the upper hand, because your brother will appreciate that gesture hugely. And because he'll feel like he has like a comrade and like a partner. And I also think that if you can sort of extend an olive branch like you guys were talking about, like to her, then she'll feel safe with you, even though you might not be the safest person, which I think is awesome. You know what I'm saying? You guys know what I'm saying.
Totally.
Yeah, I like that. I agree with that for sure.
Like we got a Game of Thrones at this shit.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah, yeah. Keep your enemies close. Yeah, completely.
But also
thank
with
you so
love,
much.
though. I don't know, with
Yeah.
love.
Good luck. I mean, this is
Yeah, it's
really
hard.
This is tough.
really tough.
He's gonna do what he's gonna want to do, and you know what? And it's not. I would bet money that it's not gonna work out in the long term.
Yeah.
But I think that they're both young enough. I just hope that he doesn't get her pregnant.
Amen.
But I'm sure that it's not gonna work out, and he'll learn from it, and he'll look back and he'll say, "Hey, you guys were all right."
Yeah. Sometimes people
but-
just have to learn the
They have
lesson.
to learn
Yeah,
the
oh
lesson.
yeah.
They
Oh
have
my
to go
God,
through it.
I did.
I did as well.
I mean, and I feel like hopefully I'm a better person because of it, because of that hard lesson.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't listen to any of my friends when they tried to tell me that
Yeah.
I was dating a
Look, who I didn't either. No,
douche.
yeah, of course.
and I lost a lot of money.
Really?
Yeah.
Jeez. That
Yeah.
sucks.
You know, just-
Kind of does.
Yeah.
But it was really good. It was good for me. It's just
Yeah.
not so great for my parents.
Yeah.
they could have had that money.
Morgan, hey, listen, best of luck to you, and let us know how it
Yeah.
goes. And thank you so much
I
for hanging
will.
out with us tonight.
But in your
Thank
conundrum,
you. So nice talking to you all. Thank you for the advice.
Of course.
I'm a huge fan of your podcast. Keep on keeping on.
Oh.
thank you.
Good luck, Morgs.
Good luck, Morgan.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
I do think the idea of being the messenger, though, is
It's the worst.
it
job.
is a
Yes.
struggle.
Oh my
You
God.
can't do it. You can't do it.
You
You'll
can't,
be
right?
vilified. You
Yeah.
can't. Yeah.
But at the same time, like, because we've known each other for a long time, and there were times when I felt like we both have felt this way. Like, why didn't you tell us that person was not a great
Right.
person for us?
Yeah. It's
And-
hard. You can't.
Yeah.
And we both have like been like, well, we both were too, I don't know,
I mean,
weak or
weak. I don't know what it's just because
just don't
you
want to be the messenger. of
because
that
also
bad
like you
news.
also don't know the ins and outs of someone's relationship.
Yeah. I want to ask you guys.
Yes.
Okay, so let's say Donald Trump is. I'm just wondering, like, what racist would you rather sleep with?
Ooh, this is interesting.
Oh, I like this question.
I like this
Really?
a lot. Yeah.
Okay.
This is great.
All right, so I mean, our founding fathers—they're all pretty much racist
Yeah.
and sexist. I mean,
Yeah.
all we had was fucking Betsy Ross.
Right.
I
I
know.
mean, she sewed a fucking flag. Like, that's all we have is our.
It was like
female
very
American.
busted looking.
Yeah.
It evolved
Yeah.
well,
It was-
but
It was like
first
this is,
run.
Yeah. This is.
Yeah.
It, felt
It had
very,
a lot of like contrast stitching. It was like True Religion jeans.
I
Like
know.
it was just a
It
lot.
was like, this isn't for your Etsy business, but thank you.
Okay, so who's your favorite American racist?
You went from like, would you rather sleep with to who's your favorite American racist?
Probably Mel Gibson.
Ooh, that's a good
That's
one.
a really good
So
one.
he's a good racist.
He is, and also Kramer because it's Kramer.
Yeah, he
Yes.
was great on Seinfeld.
Two
It's
very,
like,
very
I
talented
overlook
racists.
it. It's gross,
Yes.
but I overlook
No,
it.
really, I don't.
Yeah.
I would get really annoyed
I
with
still
the
watch.
applauding.
I still watch Seinfeld. I can't let
I
it
love
ruin the
Seinfeld, but I
experience.
hate the applauding of like really every time we have to like 15,
Oh, every time he enters in.
yeah,
yeah,
like you know, 7 to 15 seconds of applauding.
Yeah.
and while we all calm down because he entered again. Like,
So funny.
Where are some racists? Like, give me some. There's Donald Trump.
Yeah, they're
Obs.
everywhere.
There's
Yeah.
Mel Gibson.
Donald Sterling.
No, fuck that guy.
okay, well, okay, Benjamin Franklin. Should we talk founding fathers?
Alexander Hamilton, was he racist?
No.
Totally. They all were.
They had to be on some level.
Andrew Jackson is the king of like the worst. He is. I mean, he did get a large chunk of land from the French for us, I guess.
Oh, you know what? I changed mine. Paula Deen.
Her, I will say this.
Incredible racist.
I will say
perfect
this.
racist.
Yeah.
My dad is super woke, which means he's like up on like race issues and everything. He's so smart and like he's all about like Black Lives Matters and everything. And then when I went home for Thanksgiving last year, he was making a candied yams recipe from Paula Deen because it's really fucking good.
I bet it was delicious.
It was so it's like I get it. I
I'm
get
hungry
it. She
right
sucks,
now.
but that recipe was really good.
Yeah, she doesn't know how to be appropriate, but she understands like butter.
Yeah, so I was like, I get it.
Yeah, I
she
get it,
might
too.
be my favorite because she's kind of harmless. Like she hasn't enslaved anyone.
No, she's just like
She's
she's just like a
worst
southern
kind of racist,
puppet.
though, is the harmless one. I think it's
I've-
like the
yeah.
seemingly harmless racist is like, to me, it's like, it's all good.
But she like doesn't like she doesn't have any like power. You know what I mean?
Not anymore.
Yeah. But even when she was like on Food Network, it was like, what was her like? What she couldn't do anything to anybody.
Oh, her cookies could like save the world.
Yeah. Or also like send you to an early grave because it's
Oh,
just
you
butter.
guys.
Yeah.
Paula Deen in Syria. That's what we need to do. Let's send Paula to a Syrian refugee camp.
Oh my god.
That would be great.
All right, I'm definitely going to wrap it up right now.
Oh yes. Yes.
So please subscribe
Okay,
on
between large
iTunes.
labia-
Leave us a review. Follow us on Twitter and on Instagram and on Facebook. And we're not on Snapchat yet, but we will be soon. But thank you so
Will
much,
we?
dear listeners. We love you so much. Anna
do
wants to
love
say
you.
something.
Oh, I just want to say, I do have large labia, and I'm very insecure about my areolas. I do love you all, so thank you.
Good night, everyone.
Oh my god, bye.
Bye.